light a flat tire, heading towards the point of no return. Dangerous vehicle made of broken parts, frightening vision of the other side, other side, other side, frightening vision of the other side, on the other side.
1.5 days to get back to the old forest road, and then a half a day back to Le Frenier, north on the road. Lumen's dead. He's not with you guys anymore. The paladin is kind of whistling a happy tune. He seems a little perked up. You guys try to take Swit, but he succumbs to his wounds along the way, leaving you stuck with Peppers, who looks at you all forlornly. Are you guys the ones that are going to feed me now? You're far from the full moon or a rising moon, so the stars will start to twinkle in the late autumn sky. And you're at the edge of town, and as you get closer to it, the river seems to be befouled.
In what way?
It has this purple yellowish sludge moving in it, and it gives off a pungent effluvia.
Is this something that we have seen before? Is it
You passed it out.
normal?
No, well,
in
you
this
passed this same smelling stuff in the marshland where it was. That's the first place you've encountered it. It was kind of soaking in the ground, and you went around it. Now it's bigger, and now it seems like it's flowing in the river that runs through Le Frenier.
Do we see any people out?
No, there are some lights in some of the homes that you see, like on the second floor. There are no guards at the bridge.
That's unusual, right?
Intent on heading straight to his house. Osa is going to accompany him, and the Marquis looks expectantly over his shoulder at you gentlemen, as if are you coming to the manor or not? You guys shake your heads.
Just a reminder, we still kind of have the thing pending where we killed like a troop of his guards, and his daughter, if she came to her senses while we were gone, maybe stay on the outskirts like we did the last time. That maybe that's the play. If you guys want to see what's up, either I can hang back, or I don't think she would finger Kree as being involved. I think he might have like taken like a single swing, but I think I did the rest of the slaughtering when Lumen had them all locked up. So
I mean, there's only one way to find. We can go and just ask. He'll probably ask for her.
yeah, so I think Anselix was going to try to get her to come to her senses, which would probably be bad news for us.
Okay.
So I think we could accompany the Marquis to the manor. Isn't he owes us some money, doesn't he? So that's one reason to go with him. I can go with him at least.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Chris, go in.
Okay.
Let's see, maybe under the guise of, I'll catch up. Let me check out what's happening here with the river. I'm going to kind of just hang back, maybe around the bridge area, and I'll poke around, underneath bridges is kind of my thing anyway, so maybe I actually will do also a little bit of discovery in the meantime and see if I can figure out what substance is present or if I see anything else around the bridge area.
Maybe have a little sip of the water?
It smells really bad. You're not sure if the qualities of it, if submerged a body in it, would it disappear? You don't know if it has that effect, which is always attractive to you. Hiding evidence is a Galishma trait.
Is it light enough to see if
No, it's pretty opaque.
fish dead?
And it's evening now anyways, so the water looks black with the reflected light of maybe some stars here and there, but generally...
Do we see reflecting fish scales along the shores
You're
of the
chatting with the Marquis, Stu.
Yeah, just a couple other things off the top of my head that I'd probably check out is, I guess in the front of the bridge where the guards are normally stationed, is there any sign of struggle, bloodstains on the stonework, anything like that?
You do run into a villager, someone scurrying across the square.
Hey, what's going on here? The river looks terrible.
He goes, yes, this poison just started flowing through town a few days ago. Killed fish, and obviously it's unfit to drink. Well, for a lot of people that was it. They boarded up their stuff and they've left town as Le Frenier as being uninhabitable. I'm going to the Crossroads right now to see if there's any news this evening of, is the Marquis back? When are we someone going to come and fix this problem? We're looking, we wait for the Marquis to give us our, tell us what's going on. Or where's Zotar? Where's the leadership of Zotar in these tough times? Those mercenaries are worthless. They never even come into town anymore.
Yeah, they sound like it. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll catch you at the Crossroads a bit later.
Vicom.
We see boarded houses on our way.
Some of them are boarded, some of them are not. A few appear to be still inhabited because you can see lights upstairs in the second story and candlelight as people prepare for the evening. The approach to the manor, there's no lights on. There's no smoke from the chimney. There's no servants about. There's no valet to come and receive his horses. So he's really anxious, and he immediately gets off his horse. He's shouting for his servants and going up the stairs and into the manor. What do you two guys do?
Probably check the...
Are you going to go in the house with him?
Yeah, why not?
The dog is sitting next to you, Cree. He didn't follow the Marquis or Osa in.
Dog? What dog?
Peppers.
Oh.
Peppers is an old warhound that belonged to Swit, the
Remember,
man-at-arms
okay.
that went out to fight with you guys, and he did not return. It looks like the dog, Peppers, is attached itself to you.
Yeah, snap the fingers as I go in, as I follow the Marquis into the house. Just so Peppers follow me.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Yep, wagging the tail. Lousy hips, going up the stairs. When you get to the hall, the Marquis has a servant, one of his servants, manservants in his hands. He's got him by the scruff of his neck. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Enough with this nonsense, you fool. Where's my wife? And then he throws the servant down and goes and heading up the stairs. And Osa's telling him to wait, and he's bending down, and he's holding on to the servant, so the servant doesn't run away. Osa turns around and says, this servant claims that the Marquis' wife has murdered their daughter, and he can't believe that. And then you hear this horrible anguish cry from upstairs. No! Comes out on this balustrade yells down at you guys. He goes, bring me Ancelex now! How do you respond?
I asked the servant where his wife.
Missing. At this point, missing. Murder happened a mere hour ago.
They're gonna go up the stairs?
Yeah. I think we should go up the stairs and ask him, what has happened? What's wrong?
He says, just go get me Ancelex now.
Actually, I don't think... we don't work for him. We did one mission for him, or two. Now it's time to renegotiate the deal, right?
I don't have time for this. If you won't get Jankula... Osa, go get me... I'll go get him myself. And he's going down the stairs. Osa, come with me.
About our money.
I will have to deal with that in the morning.
He lives with
I
Osa?
have murder most foul on my hands. My lovely daughter has been slain. And this dog of a servant claims that my wife did it! I should slay you where you stand! Get me Ancelex! I want to know what happened here! And you can see the anguish in his face. So then he tries to compose himself and he heads out the front door.
If the wife left just an hour ago, maybe we can track her.
We ask the servant what has happened, and so on and so forth.
He was serving evening soup to the lady of the house, and then make sure the daughter was turned in and she's had her evening snack. When he was coming up the stairs, he heard, Violet crying out, "No, Mommy, no!" And then when he rushed, he dropped the foods and stuff, and you can see that crockery is broken on the floor upstairs on that hallway. Ran in to see what happened, and that's where he saw Charmaine Chabanteau was standing over the dead body of her child with a bloody knife in her hand and blood all over her. And the servant just freaked out and turned and ran away.
So where's the girl's body?
It's in her room.
Can we see it?
Yes. There's a stabbed to death child in her bed. It's Violet.
Okay, so it's true.
With
then.
a horrible expression on her face. And the last moments were just unmitigated horror. The horror.
So while Pepper's probably helping himself of that snack that's on the floor, I'm gonna go to the ladies' chambers and fetch some clothes, any clothes from her. Wait for Peppers to finish and try to make him to smell the clothes and try to hope he can.
Well, you don't have to
He
go
can
looking
follow
very
a
far,
scent.
because when you open up the closet to get the clothes, you see the blank, stunned, and vacant stare of Charmaine Chabanteau in the back of her closet. It's like, no, no, no. And she's like out there. She's in her bloody night clothes.
Oh, I call her, Vicomte, I found her.
I rush into the room and see this scene. I think we should just lock her up in the room.
She's asking us what's happened. Why is she covered in blood?
Oh, just a small accident, madam.
Where's Violet? What's going on? I feel something terrible has happened.
We shall call your servant.
Okay, so I grab the knife and kind of wrap it in something. It belonged to the Marquis, or
Yeah, it's an Anselex stamped. It looked like it would have been something that came off a wall in the house somewhere, wherever you had Anselex weapons. Like Osa, there's silver weapons in the ancestral collection on the walls here and there. For some reason, decades ago, a silver was a popular weapon amongst the soldiers of the North.
For some reason.
I don't know. Swit claimed it was the Northern Beast Wars. Very hush-hush.
So I think we should lock her up in the room and wait
Yeah.
for the Marquis to return.
Toph, where do you want to be? Do you want to be with Stu, who's prowling around town, or do you want to be in the manor with Cree and the Viscount?
Yeah, well, I would probably have gone back to the manor, to be fair, if realizing that something's wrong.
What's the female Marquis?
Marquesa.
Marquesa?
Marquise.
Marquise.
That's a feminine. Yeah, that's a feminine,
Yeah.
general feminine form. But I don't know for the
She has the Marquise has no recollection
specific title.
of events, and she wants to see her daughter. She's yelling that from the other side of the door. Shrieking forlornly, and then it sounds like she's talking to herself.
Detect Evil's no good with this one. This is we
Oh,
could do with the hand on this, really.
You do feel, quote unquote, evil radiating from the Marquesa. The Marquise. So you got her locked up. You can't understand what she's saying, but she is definitely babbling something to herself. The Marquis, Osa, with Jankulex in tow, being dragged along, re-enter the manor. Him and Osa bring Jankula up to Violet's room to show him what they're talking about. And then he tells Osa to throw Jankula in jail, and he needs to find his wife immediately. And Osa's like, you sure you want to do this? He's like, yes, get this man away! Throw him in irons! Who knows what he's done to my family while I've been gone?
your wife. I just poke him in the shoulder from behind.
He turns on you, and his face is twisted in rage and pain, confusion. Where is she? I demand to know right now, where is she?
She's locked
The bedroom.
in her rooms.
And so
We found her with this, and he stormed into.
Yeah, he storms up and storms in the room, and he's
Like in
crying
the-
out to his
something.
wife, and he's going, oh no, what has happened? What has happened here? What have you done? What do you mean? What do you mean? My poor wife, blah, 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 blah. What are you doing with this? I always told you never to touch this. You foolish woman, I told you this locket was cursed. And it's the locket that Violet was wearing around her neck, and he pulls it off and tosses it across the room away from his wife.
Is the Detect Evil still working on her, then?
No, it's working on that amulet.
Oh, joy. Okay. Who wants to tell the Marquis that his wife was possessed? Anyone? No?
I mean, you only you know that the thing is evil. So
Cheers for that,
probably
yeah.
you can-
Like, I must leave you here now, wife. He locks her into the room, and he's out in the hall with you guys, and he's sobbing.
Toth's going to very gingerly pick up the amulet at the end of a dagger, preferably,
Mhm.
and go, my lord, you may not believe this, but this is indeed cursed, and is the reason most likely why your wife has gone mad and done what she appears to have done.
He gets angry. He says, "Don't speak of that and give me that amulet." And he holds out
No.
his hand.
It's going away.
It's a priceless family heirloom and is part of this house's noble treasury. Hand it over.
Do you have a cloth, my lord?
Yes, well, yes. And he pulls one off the table with a silver candelabra. Clang! Here's a cloth.
Please don't touch it, my lord. It is dangerous.
Understood. And he grabs it and he wraps it up and he sticks it in his jacket. And then he collapses in a chair like a defeated man with his head in his hands. Tells the sheriff to go get some men to watch his wife's door so that she doesn't. And then he turns to you guys and he goes, "Well, there's nothing left to do but conclude our business. Because in the morning, I inherit a ruined town." Has a servant go bring back, it's 2,500, so 25 golden wheels will give you 2,500 gold. They call it a wheel because you can break off pieces to make it smaller. It's the currency of Averone, of the wealthy. Besides gems. Boom, 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 boom. There you go, Stu. It's all coming back.
Yeah. 625, 8,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
close.
All that's old is new again. What do you do?
Might I inquire, sir, about the strange miasma in the river? Any ideas why?
This mad cultist plans of kidnapping children, befouling rivers, slaughtering families in their farm home. Something has bent its will upon the end of Le Frenier as a town, and it seems that it's been accomplished.
So he's giving up. Yeah.
Do you know anyone, a wise man or woman, that would know anything more about this?
Jankula is a pretty good contact on that regards. This is about the only one you know. And Osa's got him locked up in the jail. Doesn't mean you can't go see him. Doesn't mean Osa wouldn't let you go see him if you wanted to.
What do you think of that, guys? Should we try to interview him if he knows anything?
Yeah,
Someone is doing this.
Yeah, we kind of need to, clear things up so that we know for a start that it's not going to follow us when we leave, because I'm assuming we're leaving Varadel. I'm a little concerned about that amulet staying in the household, but I'm not really into thieving things, so that's maybe something to come back for later on.
I don't have that problem.
Just to get you thinking about it, I'd probably spend 20 minutes maybe going up the bank of the river just to see if I saw any other source, or if it really did seem to just be way upstream.
It seems to be way upstream. Evidence of dead fish, carcass of a dead deer that looks like it came down to drink at the river.
And then I'd probably duck into the Crossroads and just kind of take in the chatter.
There's just a few people about whether they can stay, and they're like, "Well, do you trust to take a drink from the well in the center of town? You know, how long can you draw water before it's befouled? It could be befouled." That seems to be the topic. How do you stay even if you wanted to?
'Cause wine is safe, right?
Yep, wine and alcohol, the hard stuff. The maple syrup moonshine comes out.
With Stu and discuss what to do. We can interview Jankula the next day. Maybe organize a field trip on the river upstream.
I was just thinking, where's
If
the
we're
river flowing?
interested.
Yeah, where's the river flowing down from? Is it up near Pale Knight's Palace? Had a dam and stuff on it, didn't it? If I remember correctly.
I think I even mentioned that the water behind it was foul.
We didn't break the dam. Did we break the
No.
dam?
No.
Oh, that's okay then. So it's not our fault. Phew.
You did not break the dam. But Farthing tried to, in a backhand way, get you to. Because
Yes,
the 8 threads were the 8 pylons that held the levee. The dam, made the dam.
Right.
So if you pull those, that foul water would have probably spilled and circulated and filled the moats of the palace, the ruined palace. Because it seems like Farthingnay is quite a prankster and likes to do goofy shit like that.
Vampires can't cross running water, can they? But I suspect he's got other ways of getting around that. Okay. We're in the pub then. Yo, Varadel, how's it going?
Where does it seem people are going? Is there like a nearby village that they're all heading to?
Some are going out to hamlets where they have family. Some have gone to Petit Champ, for example. But most of the traffic is going north along, I forget what they call it, the King's Road or something. It's the improved road out of town of Le Frenier, which kind of goes north-northwest and then hooks up to the main road that cuts through the entire realm and eventually returns to Vionez.
So what do you think, guys? I mean, like, even if we concluded that it might have something to do with the body of water near the palace, like, what are we going to do? Construct a dam?
It's already dammed up as far as you know.
Yeah, it's dammed up. I think it's more a case of do we break the dam and try and block them in, but then it just fills the moat up, doesn't it? Really, it's not really. Is it connected to the river?
I have no idea.
No, it's not. It's a bit of a distance away. You don't know where the headwaters of the Le Frenier are, but the river that went by the palace is not the Le Frenier. You wouldn't know what it is, but there's enough people to tell you that. But it could be. I mean, I guess it's close enough. Horseshoes and hand grenades. It's nearby. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can check that out the next day, go upriver.
Yeah, we need to speak to Anselix first, though.
And he's in jail. Osa doesn't have any problem with you talking to him. In his cell.
Yeah, I'm going to mention to Varadel about the necklace and stuff. That looks to be some sort of cursed item that sends people insane. So I'm waiting for the Marquis to wear it now.
And
Great.
when you guys first encountered Violet, she was wearing it. Back at St. Cloud, the ruins of the ruined abbey. She was talking into it.
Do we want, while some are talking to Jankula, some can sneak into the house, try to steal that from the Marquis?
Why would we want to steal the amulet?
Because it needs to be taken away and either destroyed, preferably, or put somewhere away from them for their own protection.
Didn't look like he wanted to part with it.
Maybe we can sell it?
Yeah, we could do. Somebody else can then, get cursed instead.
How is this our problem?
It's not your problem. It's probably not Kree's problem. It's definitely not Varadel's problem. Toth kind of has a slight issue with it.
Well,
I mean, so I guess if it was in the treasury and something else went missing at the same time, maybe they wouldn't notice.
We have the perfect business here. We can steal it, then we sell it to someone, and then we charge to get him rid of the curse. And we keep going, doing that thing again and again.
Oh, it's cursed. Poor you. No, I'm all for some sneaky stuff.
I mean, I know Toth. He's not. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't agree about stealing things, but this is for a greater good, I believe.
Yeah. It's quite lucky, really, that Toth's deity is not really all that interested in this kind of stuff. It's more if you go around looting the dead from tombs that are specifically dedicated to his god. He gets a bit snotty about that, but yeah, he's just going to be sat at the table going, la 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 la, I can't hear you.
You guys are headed back to the manor? Or how many are you headed back to the manor?
I think we should wait to the next evening. We can use the dark to our advantage.
If you guys head back in on an evening, would probably obviously be better because there's less. We haven't got as many guards in the village, the town anyway, because most of them are dead, which is always a good thing. Security is going to be a bit laxer than usual. And whilst you're doing that, Toth's going to go and see
Yes.
And I have an alibi.
And during the day, at least me, I'm going over to stroll by the manor a few times to recon any ways in, security.
On the bridge that leads out of the northwest of town, which is the quickest way to the manor, you encounter a villager who's on the other side of the bridge, coming your way. But he doesn't look all right, like he's stumbling as if he was drunk or ill.
That's coming down from the manor.
That's coming towards the Vicomte as the Vicomte is heading towards the manor. He encountered this villager on the bridge that goes across. There's two bridges, one in the north and one in the south of town.
Okay, so do I notice this? Yes, I do.
You guys are both on the bridge. You can see each other. You can't see details. You just see each other's form in the dark.
Are you all right, sir? My good man. Are you all right?
And that's when you hear this like slop, slurpy sound, and then like the snap of whips, and roll to see if you are surprised. What are you surprised on? You're surprised on a 1 or a 2 on a D6? Anders, you can roll it.
I rolled a 4.
So you were not surprised. We need to roll for initiative.
Ooh.
As what appeared to be, I mean, it's still ambulatory and standing, but where there would be a head, it's this pulpish, purplish lump that splits open at the top, and these 4 whip-like tentacles come out. And as it splits wide open, and is attempting to wrap you up. So let's roll for initiative.
Poor Vicomtes. We're just going to find a wig on a bridge.
It's a 3.
The wig of evil. Initiative 2. Plus 1. Plus 1. Yes.
Plus 1, so a
3.
tie, simultaneous?
Yes.
Player characters go first, simultaneous action. What are you going to do as you see these whip-like things coming out for you?
Is it fast?
Yes.
So, no big use in running then?
I am all about
what the
trying
hell?
to avoid.
I
Are you
will
trying to
draw
dodge? Are you trying to dodge? If you want to try to dodge his attack and get away, I would absolutely let you do that.
I will. Yeah, I'll try that.
But you have to describe. It has to be dramatic. Just turning around and running the other way is not going to. Give me something else.
Throw your wig in his face.
No, not the wig. So we're on a bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a good idea. Okay, I'll jump up onto the railing and run away that way. Some cool tumbling acrobatic stuff.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to tell you how I want this adjudicated. You're going to get a +1, and your target number is a 15. It's like a save. You got to get a 15 or better, and you get a +1.
Can I add my dexterity bonus or something? Or
Yes. And if your strength bonus is higher, you can add that. Or if you have strength bonus as well, you can lump that in too.
No
You're
strength bonus, just dex.
Going to make him roll that on 3d6 as well.
No, flat D20.
16 plus 2, 18.
You jump and skip and dodge the 4 snapping tentacles and are able to sprint down the railing post to post and get off the bridge. And the thing's like... It's still coming, but slowly, haltingly.
I run as fast as I can in my foppish shoes and silly outfit, and keeping my cane, run towards the city. Ah! The wig is flapping in the wind.
Okay, back to Toth. You are talking with Jankula. Jankula says that the locket, it's actually a pair of lockets.
Oh.
They're heirloom with tragic history, of course. It is claimed a person with the locket can speak with the person on the other side.
Okay, a bit like the crown then.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and he suspects someone has the other locket and made her do it. You have to convince the Marquis it's not her fault. She's been possessed.
Yeah, you mentioned that word to him and he just clams up. It's not the easiest of things to get through to that man.
No, it's not. He detests anything that smacks of
Yeah, I wish Toth could actually cast miracles, but 10th level and all. We'll get there eventually. Actually, I could probably stab him and then heal him, couldn't I?
Jankula?
No, the Marquis. Sorry, talking that. I think to myself.
Yeah. You probably could.
Just like tap on the head with a mace. Right.
Mm-hmm. So, is there anything else you want to get out of him or ask him?
I can't think if there's anything else we need to speak to him about.
But yeah, he's familiar with the amulet.
I am obviously going to mention pretty much everything else that happened whilst we were at the lodge and where we went afterwards. Does he already know about that?
No, because you guys just got back.
Yeah, so I'm going to give him a full rundown of all of that.
Well, he just believes that whatever threat is emanating from the palace is stronger than ever and probably going to materialize, and that we're on the eve of some type of attack. Another world that's going to spill into northern Averone and who knows what. Consume it, he says. He's speculating. Who knows what horrors lie beyond those portals?
Yeah, okay. I say there's no accusation about it. She did it. The kid's dead.
Well, true, but she didn't do it of her own volition.
Yes, but you can't explain that to the Marquis, can you?
I mean, she is doomed. She is doomed. They'll hang her in the morning for sure. You must save her. You must save her. Can you remove her from the house?
I mean, on that note, this guy did us a solid last time. Do we want to break him out too?
I was kind of thinking about that, to be honest. We just ask Ossa if we can borrow him, because it's going a bit pear-shaped and we need team to look at stuff.
Yeah, Ossa asked what you guys have in mind.
Well, something's obviously wrong. This guy knows more stuff than we do, and he can probably help. Mm-hmm. Even if we keep him on a chain somewhere, just we're not going to let him go. He's still obviously under arrest, because that's what you've been ordered to do. We're not going to get you into trouble with the chief.
Oh, I think everyone's in plenty of trouble right now, Toth. Are you talking about going back and trying to finish what we started to get to that ruined palace?
Yeah.
Because if it is, I'm in. I need to save my town. It's falling to pieces.
Yeah. That's pretty much what we need to do. It's going to follow us, I think, otherwise. Sorry. Go on, Az.
Yep.
As you speak in there, through the windows, you hear loud screams in the street. Someone coming by.
Running.
Ossa opens up the door and he sees this man with a large wig running through the square. Vicomte, over here, what's wrong? What distresses you so?
Tentacles.
Oh no, don't tell me the hen tie have arrived. Sorry.
He's like, what do you mean tentacles? What do you mean tentacles, Vicomte?
From the manor, some abominations come from that direction.
Ooh, abominations? Where?
Has it followed me?
It was really slow. So you had this, you wouldn't know where it is right now. But Ossa's going to grab mercenaries. There's 2 on duty at the cells, and he takes them and he's going to go investigate what you're talking about. And Ossa says, and it's unfortunate that I absently left the keys behind to Jankula's cell, and heads out.
Nudge.
After I take care of business, I will track you. I will look for you later.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, funnily enough, you've mentioned the words abomination and heading this way. So, yeah, I think Toth's going to sort of inadvertently go, oops, the key just fell in the lock. Oh, no, what happened there? And then he's going to come after the sheriff because he needs to go and sort this out.
I volunteer to show you the way.
Get all the way to the foot of the bridge and you don't encounter anything.
Any slime or goo or disgusting stuff there? Maybe
there's some sloppy stuff, yeah, on the bridge when the thing's head, whatever it called for a head, split open.
Yeah, I describe what happened. Head split open, tentacles attacking me. My valiant.
Well, whatever it is, it's not here anymore, says Osa.
It's in the village somewhere.
Can I detect any evil?
No, not like a danger sense that there's an impending threat of evil over your shoulder, no.
Yeah, would it be possible to follow its tracks?
Very difficult, but you can try. Does any of you guys have a tracking ability?
Kree got that.
Kree does, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
But Kree's
I don't.
there.
No, Kree, you're a thief.
Yeah, he's a thief, but maybe that monster
If you guys
hunter.
If you guys roll a 1 on a 1d6, you might pick up some information. Who wants to
Okay.
Who wants to roll? It's one roll, not everyone, just one.
Who's the luckiest?
Nope, that would be a 5. So not that lucky today.
Ah,
Yeah.
I would have rolled a 1.
You that's Schrodinger's cat. You'll never get around that. You never know if you would have rolled a 1 or not, because that possibility does no longer exist.
Yes.
You opened up the box, and the cat wasn't there. You lose.
Or what?
Good day. So no discernible tracks. You have no idea which way the creature that the Viscount's describing would have gone.
If I think back, what kind of clothing did this creature, former human being, wear? Was like a farmer's outfit, or
Yep. Ragged, dirty, shredded, farm clothes. Like it crawled 3 miles through the woods on his hands and knees after a hard night of drinking that maple moonshine, trying to find his way back to his cabin. That's what the clothes look. It's starting to rain now. Wind-driven rain is starting to fall. And the temperature drops about 10 degrees.
Okay, so the prison break happened. Do we still want to fool with getting the amulet, or do we just want to go to the palace?
Well, I think things are coming to the town, aren't they, at the moment? So I don't know whether or not we want to just abandon everybody and go to the palace and try and take out what could potentially be the bigger threat, because I don't think Anselix is going to come with us, because he's going to try and do something stupid and save his girlfriend. Well, I mean, the Marquess even.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, no, you'll need me along. I can help. Really, I can help.
I was proposing that maybe, since the Marquis isn't really well equipped to help his own town at the moment, that maybe there's some goods in his treasury that might help aid us if we were to go look for the amulet as well.
Nicola says he has some useful things at his house if you would let him go get them.
We will go with him if this creature is loose in the village.
Well, you guys going to go and get equipped. I'll take the Viscount along with me, and we'll have a scout around the village and around the town and see if we can find this thing. And if we do, I'll send him across to you guys screaming, so you'll know we found it.
yes.
No, you can't find sight of whatever the Viscount encountered. It's a fruitless search. The only thing you're able to rouse up is a dog barking in someone's backyard. So you guys went with Jankula. He gets his, because you've seen it before, his Transarcana compass. He grabs a book, and he grabs some vials, and then he grabs some copper wire. Puts it in a traveling bag. Grabs a silver short sword from the wall, and says he's ready to go.
Baridel, were you thinking about anything in particular?
Not necessarily. I just meant if we wanted to go try to steal the amulet, additional justification might be anything else we might find in the Marquis' treasury. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if Anselix has stuff that he thinks is useful, that's fine, too.
Where's the Marquis' treasury? You keep referring to his treasury. Where is it?
He mentioned it. He said that the amulet belonged there, so I assumed it was a place in the palace that we would have to search for. Or his, chateau or whatever that we would have to search for.
Yes, that's my understanding as well. You would have to look for it. You would have to comb the house.
So I'm not necessarily pushing for it. I was just mentioning that as a possibility. If we still cared about getting the amulet, there might be additional incentives. That was all.
Jankula asked you, Toth, where is your legendary hammer?
Well, I mentioned, I would have mentioned that it's obviously been left in the tomb where we were previously, because it was used to destroy the evil, but not fully, probably. No, my luck.
That's unfortunate, because the history of Jifrith, the Hammer of Justice, has been, I believe, the legends of, was it the giants? It was used to drive the giants underground. It was actually some type of portal that this weapon has been involved in transplanar combat.
Okay. Not much I can do about it now. I don't really want to go back there again. Maybe in a few levels, maybe, if we're still alive.
Okay. the band's all together. We got Osa and you guys. Jankula's got his stuff.
Do we want to warn the Marquis that we are sort of heading back out to try and stamp out the main threat and hopefully help his wife? Just put that in there. Just, we think it'll help his wife.
Maybe while you are talking to him, me and Varadil can sneak into the house and do a quick search.
You see, that thought had
Steal the
never,
amulet.
ever hadn't occurred to me at all.
Which one of you, Varadel or Vicomp? Who wants to roll the 1d6, and on a 1, we'll see if you find anything.
So in case it matters, I'll probably have on the glove of removal, and I'd be when we go inside.
Yeah, that makes you invisible except to what? Children under 12 and...
And we know those are in short supply today.
But a bump. And that, folks.
Do you have
that, folks, is a wrap.
Invisibility glove?
He
Essentially,
does.
yeah, with a few exceptions.
You guys were fuggered with your invisibility powers because you were in the Greater Repugnance's home turf. Some of your newfound abilities and powers were of no avail against the evil of Praetor. You lifted Toss' hammer out of his hands like that.
He did.
He didn't even see it, and he knew it was there. Who's rolling that dice? Who's rolling that 1d6? I think Varadel should. Varadel?
All right,
Would you
here
please
we
roll
go.
a 1d6? If you roll a 1, we're in business with something.
It is indeed a 1.
Awesome.
You find in the second floor hallway behind a painting of the Marquis himself is a little hidden safe, and that is where the amulet is. And you have found it.
Interesting. Is there anything else in there?
No.
All right.
So it's obviously not a treasury, but this is where he stuck the amulet. Basically, just like a small section of the wall is a false wall. You pick it and it opens, and then you close it and put it behind. It's not too hard to find, I guess, but not many people go looking behind the Marquis' pictures.
I'll keep it in its cloth wrapped up, and we'll head back.
Okay. Next move. We leaving town now?
Yeah, if Toth's conversation with the guy doesn't matter.
No, I don't think so. The Marquis seems to be 1,000 miles away in his thoughts. As he sits in the study drinking his wine with his head in his hand.
So, would it be smart to use a boat and go upriver, or should we go by foot through the forest?
Taking a boat upriver would be laborious.
So is hiking through the woods. Just a question, what do you guys prefer?
And you can only go, I don't know the distance you'll be able to go, but eventually you have to abandon the boat because you're going towards the headwater and not downstream, where the river is used more for traffic. They usually go up and down north of Fresnay to that King's Road.
Okay, so it's not very
navigable,
travelable.
east of town.
Okay. So then it's a hike, I guess.
Gets pretty bony pretty quick. You are hiking in the evening through the driving rain. Osa recommends following the river so we don't get lost. The wind-driven rain is coming down, so there's no point in trying to make a camp or anything, so you keep on moving. Close to morning, the trees and the fog and the lessening rain, somebody, you can't make out any details, staggering through the trees towards you. The green, mossy, broken ground with rocks and roots in a ragged form, stumbling.
Yeah, that's getting the full force of a detect evil glare at it.
Not evil. There is magical residue.
Duck behind a tree and ready a dagger to throw.
Are you going to let it just come on?
Has it noticed us is the main thing? Is it just stumbling around?
It's kind of stumbling around, but it's straight in your direction. They're covered up in a hood. The clothing is really dirty, and there's a white hand imprinted on the cloth, on the like right here.
Okay.
The person stops as if now it senses you.
What time of day are we on? Sorry, is it evening?
No, it's
the morning.
Morning. The sun is coming.
Oh, right. We went up in the morning. Okay, cool. Okay.
And so the rain has stopped, but everything is really frosty now.
I load my crossbow and take aim at the creature, at the figure, just in case.
I think I'll do the same.
I'll wait until everybody's in cover and doing whatever they're doing, and then I'll go, Hale, stay where you are and state your business.
Randall, we're ready for you.
Oh, and I throw my dagger.
We lose. Oh,
There's a full volley!
take that!
Oh my god, look out! Yep. Okay, roll another one.
I'll just stand there and just look at them.
Don't let it speak. It's Saruman.
It's not Saruman, but it is Lumen. Where there once was a missing hand, there is a skeletal hand attached.
Ooh.
It has bits of flesh, it's charcoal, it's blackened.
Oh, you didn't pick up the hand from the dead dude, did you?
Say the hand has spoken.
He said, yeah, I'm picking that thing up, and there was a
Yeah,
discussion
on his
about
hand,
it.
yeah.
That was glorious. Looks like Lumen has been returned to life infused with Praetor's hand.
Greetings, traveler. Let me tell you about the hand and what it has given me.
But you're dead. It's a ghost.
I saw you die. Well, actually, no, I didn't. None of you guys saw the end of. He just didn't.
No,
He
It
just
never
we
came
had-
out.
We had run away.
He's got some pretty horrific scars across his face from the scratching of whatever that was.
I don't suppose you brought my hammer with you, did you?
What hammer?
Oh, okay.
He doesn't really recognize you guys, except for the guy with the wig, because you guys never actually expressed interest in the hidden hand. But we had a nice conversation, Vicomte, and let me do it at one point.
Yep, when he got some healing a few sessions ago.
I'm a prospect.
You're a prospect, yeah.
Continue
Well,
on to the palace.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Or a jam session. You want to poke and prod Lumen, or do you want to keep on going?
I'll prod him with the sword and see what happens.
He starts to stumble a lot more than he was a minute ago.
By the way, Lumen's a lot older.
Yeah, I think we would take a moment here and be like, what happened? Or, try to reconcile the fact that he never got out of the temple.
I'm nothing. I am no one. But I will tell you, my God,
Great, he's come back as a Jehovah's Witness. Awesome.
he's a freaking cleric, man. Pretty single-minded, coming from the paladin, pot calling the kettle black.
My deity's lax, so it's fine. I can get away with it.
If you want to go meta, just know what happened to him. And he's been wandering a very long time. And he doesn't really remember you guys, except for the prospect.
It's the wig. He really takes the wig.
He's carrying a blade on the end of a long stick. Call it a poleaxe. It's generous. He's not wearing armor, and he has a hatchet and sandals. It's pretty minimal figure. No hammer is hanging out of the backpack.
Darn.
All right.
But he said, where are you guys going? Where are you going?
We're returning to the palace to defeat the evil.
The evil? What type of evil?
The first evil that we found, not the second evil.
Or the third.
Not the evil that killed you.
Fourth or fifth. You're up to like about 6 evils now.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah. By my
Yeah, I
count.
We used to know each other, I think, a long time ago. Yeah, he's been traveling for a while. Apparently, in the conversation with Jay, that he satisfied the mission of his god. He wasn't slashed, to death. He doesn't, but he was reduced to nothing, and then taken by his god and fused with the hand, which, as a reward, he has to carry. He's like a human capsule for the hand. He's like guarding it.
Right, I see. Okay.
The hand's got, some mojo. He mostly just wanders around and tries to convert people to the hand. Been traveling a very long time, 20 years. And he kind of remembers you guys. And, he's jogging his memory about this castle, right? Wasn't it the Pale Knight? The white fellow?
That's the one.
Yeah. He's got no love from Lumen. He'll wander along with you guys. You guys seem all right. As long as you're doing the will of his god, we'll stick together. Don't say anything bad about the hand, though. And he's eyeing that little slinky fellow, kind of. He's like, I remember you.
Not once. Never said anything bad about him. Not even once.
Not even once. Gentlemen, this is a good time for a 10-minute break. And it's not an hour later that after you run into Lumen that you come across a irrigation ditch dug into the ground, which is immensely difficult out here in the Tanglewood, and it intersects the Le Frenier River, where now at this point it's a bubbling creek and a bony, fast-moving mountain river. There's that traces of all that sludge in this irrigation ditch. You can see all the fresh earth and rocks and boulders that were dug at some point to make this irrigation ditch. And the irrigation ditch is going in the direction towards the palace.
Oh.
And it goes all the way down to the river.
Yep, and intersects and it's clear that you can see the purple and yellow toxic sludge came roaring down this irrigation channel and poured into the Frenier River, and it would eventually go downstream.
But there is no sludge in it now.
Nope.
No. So would it be easy for us to pass the irrigation ditch without having to walk through the sludge?
Yes. You can be on either side of this irrigation ditch. And it brings you to the palace ruins. It takes you another 2 hours to get to the palace, and in that time, the irrigation ditch has filled up and flooded with sludge that's gone rolling past 2 times.
Okay.
A great surge of it goes by, and then an hour later does it again.
So what are the dimensions of the irrigation ditch?
Take a 2-wheeled wagon and the width of it,
Yeah.
and then go down 6 feet, so you have this big U. That's how big it is. It would take many hands and many years of, a lot of intense labor to cut these trees, pull up the stumps, move the rocks.
Or magic.
It actually flows out from the palace. No, it's coming from the, what is it? That levee. Yeah, that's the purpose of that thing. That thing is opened.
All right. Okay.
And instead of circulating and functioning as a moat anymore, it is now this like the pool at the head of the irrigation ditch. So, gentlemen, what's your intent here at the palace? Are you going to charge go right in? Are you going to go take a swim, going fishing?
Got any way of maybe blocking the ditch?
There's 5 of the 8 pylons stacked up on the bank by the side of the. If you had a way of driving those in, you could probably do it. There are times when the sludge isn't moving. It seems every hour, about an hour, about 60 minutes, right? So it'd be a time for you to be in the ditch without the stuff flowing. Boy, that hammer of Jifrith sure would be handy to pound those suckers in.
Wouldn't it just? Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Why don't we go back and get it? There's a bunch of people there I don't like.
Yeah. I know.
The entrance to the palace, do you remember that? It was on the lower level, goes into the outcropping solid shelf that the palace is built on. And it had 4 directions off of it. 4 total portcullis. So what trip is this? 3rd, 4th? To the palace.
3rd, I think.
It's 3rd, yeah.
It's got a little bit of unfinished business in it. I've got a map. It's got a whole bunch of stuff on it. This is the bottom floor over on, I don't know if you can see that, but.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's like a vibrating altar thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sort of stairwell up into it. There's some freaking portals everywhere. I don't know where we are in relationship to it, but this is, I think, the portcullis.
Yep, that's where you are. That's where you guys are right now. You're looking at the empty reservoir, open levee, and irrigation ditch, and the entrance to place. That portcullis, the exterior one, is raised. It's like rusted, frozen in a halfway position. So that's how you got into that. walking underneath it.
Didn't we have to lift that one, or was that one open the first time round?
The one on the right, no, you didn't have to lift that one. It was the one on the right that you lifted.
One of them was pegged.
Yeah, I guess the one on the right with the arrow. And then the one to the left, I'm not doing this right. When I'm looking at the map, your arrow past the portcullis is pointing west. Is that the same way it's pointing to you guys?
Yeah, that's west.
Okay. Yep.
This thing over here.
And to the east there's 2 portcullises, but the one on the east wall is open when before it was closed. So there's your propped open portcullis, the open one to the east, and the 2 facing south are closed.
What's the objective?
Well, we think that something's coming through. Well, we're trying to stop it, really, aren't we? But there's also some unfinished business here as well. And I think after this, potentially, certainly Toth might be going back to that tomb because he wants the hammer.
They want to find the source of this sludge.
Yeah, the intermittent nature of like the batches of it seemed like it might be like a manual thing as opposed to they've diverted something.
Yeah, I think if we find a terror gnome and just interrogate the damn thing.
Oh yeah, always pushing on the minorities. That's it. Beat down on the poor. You're interrogating my colonialism. Awesome. That's great. I love it. I haven't thought of a terror gnome in a while. Which direction are you going to go to try to find one of these little snots?
If we're standing there, which way is from where the sludge is pouring out? To the east or to the west?
The levee is in front of the palace and it travels west. The ditch goes west.
Is it the gooey stuff, or where's the gooey stuff?
No, the gooey stuff is behind you.
Okay.
And there was a bridge that you crossed, and you got involved with Mr. Raggedy Bones on a horse and armor. The bridge is just right in front of the portcullis to give in with enough distance to make some kind of semi-courtyard. What was dry is now slick with the sludge. There you go. And sludge passes underneath that every hour. And that winds around back into underneath the outcropping, so on the west side. The pool is being fed by something coming out of the west side.
So somewhere over here, sort of moving that way.
And then you can see, especially Veridel, you notice that there are loose granite surface. You be on the second level, you can see an actual man-made window, not as small as an arrow slit, so it's used to allow in light. But it is an actual window that would have been built into the palace. There's actually more than one piece of the structure sticking out from the box. So there's some exposed palace on this side.
We thought we had vetted out most of the second floor, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that I could tell on the second floor was mess with any of the magic doors on that level.
Yeah, we avoided them like the plague after the first time round. Wasn't that where the witches were as well?
They were up on that
level. The witches were over here, right there. And then the snake thing was over here. This was the exit for several. The last 2 trips was to get out of here.
The rope's still probably there.
That's that's a window, right? The second.
So that's level 2?
Yeah.
I think this is actually the same room, right, Jay?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That was misdrawn.
And then the bedroom that was north of that room that fits off. Well, no, the chest room.
This was somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can figure that out.
We got, I think, what we need.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So that's what the second level. You guys are looking at your map in front of the palace. Jankula is taking samples of the residue sludge from the irrigation ditch and putting it in some of his vials. He's like, fascinating. It's almost like it's a self-replicating thing. Crackpot shit he's talking.
Okay, Venkman, let's go.
Yep, he puts his finger in it a little bit. He's like, oh yeah, yep, I think that's what it is. You don't want to take this in large doses. And Osa's like saying, yep, creatures of legend and hell spawned forth real. Now I know my family's noble heritage, and I know what I must do. Save Le Frenier.
Does anybody else think Osa would probably make a better Marquis?
Probably.
He's 17 years old, comes about. But he looks like he's 21.
He's 17, but he's the sheriff.
Because he looks the part.
Ah.
And he comes from a family that's got money. He's a noble, so he's actually a knight. He's actually a knight, or becoming a... It doesn't matter. He's hooked. That he's young. He's got connections.
Well, I think we should do a little more exploring down here. I don't have any lamps or ways to see anything.
I've got a torch.
I have torches. If you...
All Lumen has is the iPad to do the map. Yeah, I'll be sort of close to the front, next to the big shiny guy.
It's black armor. It doesn't shine that much. It's okay.
The noisy guy, the big noisy guy.
Which direction are you going?
Down we go, Captain.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
It's open that way, so...
think you'd know where to start.